Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is your host, Reverend Ken. I want to talk today about what's been going on in the news about the 27 organizations that are suing Trump against the ability of ICE to go into churches and to sanctuaries, into various areas, and the biblical background of the truth of what the Bible actually says about that. So let's stay tuned. Let's get into it right now. And if you like this kind of content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And you can buy us a cup of coffee to help support the channel. Let's get into the biblical background of what is sanctuary. So what does the Bible say about sanctuary? When Leviticus and the laws of Moses were set up, there were certain rules that had to be set up, certain laws and conditions, that if something happened, this is the way you paid back the person. If this happened, this is the way you paid back somebody. Well, what a lot of that time, in this time era, there was something known as an eye for an eye. If your ox accidentally killed my brother, I'm going to kill you. This is some of the things that would happen. We're not talking about really intentional murder. We're talking accidental murder. And prevent this other family from going and killing the person until a proper trial and resolution could be resolved, God commanded that 6 cities be set up where a person could flee to and live their life out until a proper trial or a proper resolution would occur. Because at that time, again, there was a commitment of an eye for an eye. You did this, I'm going to do this back. You know the old thing in the country, the Campbells versus the McCaws, back and forth. There was supposed to be a resolution. Something was supposed to happen. Now, these cities existed, all over. In fact, they were spread out evenly so that a person who did something happen could flee and get to one in a reasonably amount of time. And they, Kaddish, which means holy, Shechem means shoulder, Hebron, fellowship, by the way. Hebron is referred to in the Bible many, many, many times, where they put the oil of Hebron on. Bezer, fortification, Ramon, high, exalted, and Galon, which means joy or exaltation. But how did this get so messed up? Well, first thing, one of the reasons why that sanctuary cities or sanctuaries were set up in churches was that if somebody had committed a crime, for whatever reason, or was accused of a crime, mobs would come after that person. They would come running. They would go, just like in the olden days, and there was an eye for an eye, and they would go after killing this person. They believed that so-and-so hurt so-and-so, and they would try to kill them. So they would run into a sanctuary or a hospital, and they would be safe until a proper reckoning could occur. Now, this is what the whole purpose of sanctuaries was set up for. But unfortunately, it has gone absolutely crazy. By the way, if I haven't asked you already, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment about what you're thinking about all this. Now, it got twisted by the Biden administration because originally, the whole purpose was to ensure that religious freedoms were supposed to be happening. If a person was practicing whatever they practiced, and they were in an area which was not accepted there, that they could still continue to practice their religious freedom without anyone coming in to hurt them or do something. You're getting my drift? But what happened somewhere during the Biden administration, suddenly these areas, churches and hospitals became off limits, where once a person went in, legal services couldn't go in and remove the person. And again, the whole purpose of sanctuary was set up that if somebody did something, they would run into a church or a safe place until a proper trial could be handled, a proper release to the public. But unfortunately, now this has been so twisted by the Biden administration that it became overused and twisted its meaning from the biblical meaning. So what's been happening, of course, these 27 organizations who are saying that ICE can't come in and do this have no biblical background to do this. But what do you think? Do you think that, that we've gone too far with sanctuaries? Are we forgetting God's rules of what sanctuary cities and sanctuaries were supposed to be in Leviticus? Where a person would flee to that city until a resolution of their particular circumstance could be resolved without any harm coming to them. And that's really what this sanctuary was all about. To have a resolution of whatever happens without harm coming to the person who is accused of doing something wrong. Whether it's accidentally killing somebody or doing something, prevents a mob from chasing a person, chasing them down, beating them to death, and killing them, was the whole point of the sanctuary city and sanctuaries in churches, where a person could run into the sanctuary, the mob couldn't enter until proper authorities could be called and a resolution could be happened. So what do you think about all this? Do you think that these organizations, these 27 organizations who are suing the Trump administration, have not a leg to stand on biblically? Or are they right? What do you think? Put it in the comments. Anyway, I'll be back with more podcasts. I'll be back with more our weekly Bible study in the future. This is Reverend Ken out. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll be back with more information in the near future.